Erik ten Hag and Ajax Amsterdam have had a great start to the sort of European campaign. They've won all 6 games in the Champions League. Beating Borussia Dortmund was definitely the highlight for most Ajax fans. But with that, you would get the impression that Ajax are absolutely steamrolling the Eredivisie, whereas that isn't the case. They're actually 1 point behind PSV. They're 3 points ahead of Feyenoord, so they're not that far ahead of the rest of the pack as well. So with the January transfer market, a lot needs to be considered if they're going to make any changes and how they could improve the squad. So be sure to let us know down in the comments section whether you agree with the sort of players that we're looking at here, and if you don't agree with us, be sure to let us know who you think Ajax should be signing this month. Now we'll start at the back, and well, defensively a lot has gone right for Ajax despite not being at the top of the league. They do have the best defensive record in the Eredivisie. They've conceded 4 goals, which is staggering really, especially given that they've got Edson Alvarez, Lisandro Martinez and Jurrien Timber. They do kind of interchange a little bit, but it's mostly Martinez and Timber who play at the back. Per Schurz will come off the bench sometimes, but with those two at the back, you know, they're both under 6 foot, but yet we're doing so well defensively. And a lot of this list does depend on the fact that Nico Tagliafico won't leave Amsterdam in January. I certainly hope he won't, and I know that most fans of Ajax will agree with that. But what we are going to look at is the goalkeeping areas. Now, goalkeeping has been fine. I think a lot of people were initially concerned that Pasveer and Stekelenburg were very old and that Jay Horta wasn't getting chances in the first team. But there's definitely a gap there because Pasveer and Stekelenburg are well in their late 30s, will probably retire soon. And you would expect that with Jay Horta probably coming through, that you would expect there to be some sort of competition for that number 1 shirt at Ajax. And my 2 choices here will be Odysseus Vlachodimos from Benfica and Manchester United's Dean Henderson. Now for me, I think the 2 of them are very similar goalkeepers. They're at a similar height, around 6'2", 6'3", I believe. Very good shot stoppers, and they do command the box very well, and I think in that way they are very similar to Onana. Onana isn't afraid to come out and collect the ball, but he's also a phenomenal shot stopper and he's been superb for us. But with the news that he's going to be going to Inter Milan as well, there's extra sort of need for us to be looking for goalkeepers right now, and I think Henderson will be out of the door at Manchester United very soon, with De Gea sort of claiming stakes to that number 1 shirt in Manchester. And with Vlachodimos, I think we could probably bring him in. Now I know that Benfica will be playing Ajax in the next round of the Champions League, so will we bring him in January? No, probably not. Why would Benfica sell their best goalkeeper to us before an important Champions League title? We will ignore some of it to a certain extent, appreciating that if we do sign either one of these 2 goalkeepers, the likelihood is that it will probably be in the summer when Onana goes most probably to Inter Milan. I think it's pretty much set in stone now. But for me, I think if we're going to bring anyone in, I would love to see one of these 2 come in, even if it's Dean Henderson on the loan until the summer. I know that we've got Pasveer started and he's been playing really well, but just a little bit more competition for me I think is what's needed in that area. And like the defence, we'll probably ignore the central midfield positions because we've got quite good cover there. Maybe we'll see a bit more of the likes of Kenneth Taylor, maybe Kian Fitzgibbon as well. We'll get a bit more of a chance just to show that they are capable in the first team, and I think if they impress in the way that we hope that they will, that we probably won't need to sign anyone in the central midfield positions. But Berghuis has been sensational. Davy Klaasen's been a good backup. Ryan Gravenberch hasn't been superb, but we'll hope to see more from him and that he'll improve his performances in the second half of the year. And well, Edson Alvarez has been superb as well. And moving on from the midfield positions, we're going to talk about the attack. Now, the attack is the one area that I think Ajax really do need to look at, and I think they've started strong. They've brought in Brian Brobby, they've got him back in Amsterdam, a player who was born in Amsterdam, played through our youth academy and then joined RB Leipzig in the summer, where the deal probably hasn't worked out quite the way he has wanted it to. He's played sort of second fiddle to a lot of other striking options that they have in Leipzig, so he's come back for us, and I think he'll come in mostly with the intention of replacing Sebastian Haller whilst he's at the African Cup of Nations with Ivory Coast. I like this deal. I think it's good. He showed he was a real good impact sub for us last season, Brian Brobby, especially in the Europa League, and I think he will play down the middle. Maybe Tadic will play some games there, but I think that's a good one. And the other area that we need to look at is the wings, especially the wings, because in the games against the lower oppositions in the Eredivisie, we've looked lacklustre, we've looked slow, and we've looked lethargic, and so we need players to come in, and I think we've approached that already. David Neres is going to most likely be going to Shakhtar Donetsk. I think it's a good move for him. It's as long as he doesn't go to the Premier League, where any bad performance will be heavily scrutinised and it will go against him. I think he can go to Ukraine. I don't know what the situation's like there, whether he will be judged for having a bad performance there, but I think he'll be given the space to develop and improve and really recreate some of that form from a few years ago that sadly we haven't been able to see in Amsterdam. And well, Shakhtar Donetsk are also known for having a lot of talented Brazilian players as well, so at least he's going to fit in there. He's going to feel a little bit like he's at home there. It's like a home away from home. He's not in the exotic parts of Brazil, but he's going to be in Donetsk with a lot of probably teammates that he's played with the national team. So I'm happy that he's going there, and hopefully he can thrive. And as Neres goes out the door, I think there's 3 players that I could see Ajax signing. I think we'll sign one of the 3, and the most likely one, I don't know if we've agreed a deal with yet, but Steven Bergwijn from Tottenham, former PSV player, so it's always great to steal a player who used to play from one of your rivals. It looks like we're going to agree a deal for somewhere in the region of 15 to 20/25 million euros. It could potentially break our transfer record fee. I'm not too sure on that though. We'll have to wait until that one's completed. It looks like we are going to get that one over the line. And I like Bergwijn. I think a lot of people have been talking about him on Twitter, and I think he's an excellent dribbler of the ball. He's got a great technical skill, and I think he'll work well with Anthony. 2 very similar players in that way. But I think the big thing for us with him is obviously we look like we're going to sign him for a lot of money. Will we get the week in, week out performances that we need? One of the big problems for Ajax at the moment is consistency. We're playing well in Europe, we're not playing well in the Eredivisie. It's very clear to see that difference with our mindset in Europe compared to when we're playing in the Eredivisie. So with signing a player like Steven Bergwijn, who knows Dutch football obviously very well, he's played many games for PSV, he knows the Eredivisie in and out. Will we get that sort of best side of him? I hope we will. And like I say, he comes with a lot of good quality attributes, so hopefully we can get the best out of him there. He can play on both the left and right. I don't know if he's got a preference, maybe the left, but I think if it is the left, that'd be great, because then we can even see Tadic move into the middle, where I know a lot of people like to see Tadic and think that's where he plays his best football. And I like the idea of this signing. It's just in reality, will it work out the way that we want it to? We'll have to wait and see. But if we don't sign Bergwijn, my 2 backups are actually both Man United, and I think if we get them, it'll be on a loan deal. But mine are Anthony Elanga and Amad Diallo. 2 young players. They're very, very sort of good on the ball. Very similar traits to Bergwijn in that they are very good with the ball at their feet, good skills as well, and I think we'd give them the time and place here at Ajax as well to really grow and improve. So they would be my backups if for whatever reason Bergwijn doesn't join Ajax, if he decides to stay in the Premier League, or if he decides to go elsewhere. These 2 players at Manchester United are 2 young players that I think would really thrive at Ajax and would be good replacements, even if it is just for a short term. I think they would come in and really improve the standard of our attacking display. I think between them, Diallo's probably the one with the most potential, but I've watched Anthony Elanga play a few times for Manchester United, and I think he looks like a quality player, one who's really gone under the radar there. But he looks like every time he's on the pitch that he gives 110%, and that's what you need if he's going to play for Ajax. And these are just speculative on my part, really. Just thinking if we don't sign Bergwijn, who are we going to bring in, appreciating that the attacking areas are crucial for us. So be sure to let me know what you think on those suggestions. Do you think it is going to be Bergwijn who comes in? And what do you think about Diallo and Elanga? Do you think they would be good signings for us? Let me know down below. And they are my sort of 3, 4, 5 nominees for Ajax to try and sign this season. You've got wingers and you've got goalkeepers as well. You've got Vlachodimos. Tell me how to pronounce that down below, please. I'm begging you. Got Dean Henderson, obviously. And then you've got Steven Bergwijn, the one who looks most dead on to join Ajax. But if not for me, like I say, Anthony Elanga and Ahmad Diallo, two really good players from Manchester United. It's very Man United based in this one. It wasn't intentional. These are just players that I think would actually improve the standard at Ajax. I would expect, if anything, one of the goalkeepers, if we do bring one, and they'll probably come in the summer, which is fine because I trust the goalkeepers that we've got at the moment. I think the focus has to be on the attack, and Robbie is a great signing. So then it's either one or two of the three players that I've mentioned. Bergwijn, as I say, looks like it'll be any day now that we'll sign him, and we'll know more about the financial aspects of that soon. And can we bring in a young player from maybe like some Man United? Could we bring in maybe Rodrigo from Real Madrid, another exciting winger there? Be sure to let me know down below. It's been great to be back on YouTube again, and I'll be back soon. Peace out, guys.